What is going on, everybody? My name is Joe, and today I'm going to be showing you guys two trailers and a gameplay that's 7 minutes long of Far Cry 4. And what this video is mostly about, just talking about Far Cry 4, what most people like me already know about the game. I'm really into the Ubisoft Far Cry series, so I looked into it. I'm really excited for it. In this little video of mine, I'm gonna break down some of the trailers a little bit while talking about some like the new features, animals, character story and background, and story in general, animals, different features, like I said, vehicles, guns, weapons, and new skills and features. So let's just get into it. So as you guys can see, the place that it takes place in is actually a fictional place called Kyrat. It takes place near the Himalayas, and this was originally supported by places like Nepal, in those areas near the Himalayas, especially in map. Now, speaking about the map size is believed to be said about the same size as Far Cry 3. The only difference between Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 is that Far Cry 4's map is much more vertical due to the mountainous region of the Himalayas. Many other the landscape in this area is flat land. You're going to see later on in this video, in the gameplay, you're gonna see just flat lands with like I guess you could say swamps, or not swamps, but like little patches of watery area with like tall rice fields. You can see people farming. So there's an agricultural side to this. There are like a few hills and like a few small areas, but you can also get to those high vertical areas such as the mountains. Now I want to talk about the trailer right here. This is actually the first trailer that we ever got from E3. So right away from the trailer, you guys can see this is what's going to happen when you first start the story mode. It's the first 5 minutes of the game. It's going to show you this introduction right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but right there it says Border Patrol, Kyrat Border. So basically the story is that AJ Gale, the character that you're playing as right now, he's about 18 or so. His mother and father, and he was actually raised in Kyrat, and they are actually part of his parents are actually part of this rebellion against this character called Pagan Min, which you're going to see right now when he comes out of the helicopter. He wears a pink suit. You guys are going to see him. He's got Skrillex hair. So right now you're going to see him. So, and the story is that his father and his mother were huge parts in the rebellion. That's Pagan Min, by the way. His father died somewhere, I guess in like the war, I guess you could say, or in battle against him. So his mother fled the country while AJ was still a baby, and was able to come, and AJ decided to come back to bury his mother's ashes, because his mother decided that she wanted to be put in a specific place in Kyrat. So he's fulfilling that right now by going back to the country. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the old man that was next to him on the floor, who's also still alive, I should say, I believe that is also a friend of his father's, or a friend of his, or someone who's helping him out get across the border. You're probably wondering, why is Pagan Min already here and stuff like that. That's because Pagan Min already knew of this plan about AJ coming back. That's why he had everything set up. That's why the Border Patrol troopers, I guess you could say, or soldiers, checked the bus very thoroughly. They checked it really slow. And you see he's very upset with how they were shooting and not just stopping the bus right there. So that's that. Now, a little backstory about Pagan Min. Pagan Min is actually not from Kyrat. He's actually from Hong Kong in China, and he is not into traditional beliefs. He has his own future for Kyrat. He believes it in a more modern way, blood iron, future machine. I believe it's what he would think of it as. From my point of view, that's what he would think. He's not very traditional, like I said, so like religion and agriculture, that doesn't go with him. But like I said, he sees Kyrat in his own vision of modern and futuristic. But obviously the people of Kyrat do not like that. They believe in traditional, like religion, agriculture, friendlyship, family, and going back to the roots of how the country started and all that. I just want to say this too, that the country, Kyrat, is actually the creators of Kyrat. They did a good job with it, because they actually made like their own religion with Kyrat. The landscape's beautiful. It ties in really well with the Himalayas. So I just want to say they did a great job with an area such as this. Now, Pagan Min, like I said, he knew of AJ coming back, and you guys can relate Pagan Min to Vaas from Far Cry 3 because he is a psychotic person and a psychotic evil villain. You wouldn't be taking a picture with your villain. You wouldn't be. He says in the trailer, if you guys never saw this before, there'll be links down below to all the videos and all that. So he says to him, I recognize these eyes anywhere. That means that you really wouldn't say that to your enemy, but he does because he knows him. Alright, so now we're moving on to the second trailer. This one is actually, I believe, called Looking into Kyrat. I believe that's what it's called. As you guys see right there, that is a new vehicle called the Buzzer, which is this two-man. You could operate it in one man, but there's a two-man helicopter, not really a helicopter, but a makeshift vehicle of a helicopter. And you can use it to get higher and use it to shoot from there also, which you guys can later see on. So that vehicle is actually really, really good. Now with the animals in this game, I have a list of all the animals that we know are definitely in the game so far. So let's get to it. There's birds, eagles, hawks, ox, buffalo, yak, goats, tigers, rhinos, honey badgers, snow leopards, elephants, and monkeys. Right there is actually the honey badger, which was a shocker to me. Here are a few that could be in it, which we never saw yet, but here are a few. Now, alligators could be one. Sharks, if it's near the ocean, there could be sharks, or if there's like a really deep lake or something like that, there could be sharks in that. Komodo dragons, which is possible. Snakes also, and there's a possible they could do an Easter egg with the Yeti, but who knows? That is that. Now here's a good place that I want to talk about the trailer. This is called Shangri-La, as you guys saw, and this is supposed to be like the spiritual world, the religious background, spiritual world in Kyrat. So like I believe you like meditate or something like that, and then you would be like transported here, and you would just take out like these guys. You only have a bow and a knife to take out the guys, but you guys can see there's that white tiger right there. He assists you into killing all those bad guys and to try and find tranquility with that floating bell, as you guys saw. Now a lot of new things have been added to the game, such as new features and new skills. So obviously some of them from the game, like from Far Cry 3, have been added back, such as looking down. Such as doing the regular takedowns, and then you could do death from above and death from below, and then also chain takedowns. But there actually are a few new ones as well, such as driving and shooting. There's a thing that you guys are going to see called a driving takedown. You could actually just throw a knife at a person, which you guys have saw, and also riding elephants, which is one of the new animals. There are new features in the game also, such as looking down and kicking, which you guys are going to see. You actually can, if you kill somebody, you can actually move their body without just holding the knife in them. You could actually kill them, I guess leave them there, and then get back to them and move their body. Because I got this from a person, where is it? I believe it was Jane Douglas who did an interview with one of the people that played Far Cry 4, and the guy said that he was able to move bodies, which is actually a new cool feature that you could do, so you don't need to worry about the other enemy seeing that dead body and be like, oh, there's an enemy here. So that's new. So as you guys can see, this trailer right now, or this gameplay, this is a 7-minute gameplay. This is shown, and if you guys go back to this trailer, if you guys want to go check it out after this, there are two people talking over this gameplay. Alex Hutchinson, the creative director on Far Cry 4, and also Mark Thompson, who's the narrative director of Far Cry 4. So they talk about this really good, really perfectly. As you guys saw right there, there was that goat and that hawk. The thing about those two, which is very, really intelligent, really smart to see in a video game such as this, there's now animal interactions with each other. So if like a tiger sees a pig or something like that, the tiger will go attack the pig, just like in Far Cry 3. That hawk with the goat, such as like a predator and versus prey, you guys are going to see much more of that now. So it's going to be really interesting to see bunch of new stuff. And as they mentioned also, if you guys see the trailer, there will be new attacks that hawks can actually attack you from the air. So now you have to watch out for above, below, left, right, everywhere, and behind. As you guys saw, there was AJ Gale picked up his new gear. There's actually this new rock climbing gear which makes you climb up vertical, and you can actually use it to swing across chasms such as that small one right there, which will be really, really helpful. Now right here, you guys can see there's it says that the convoy has been located and you have to destroy it. There will be many missions that you guys can do instead of doing like the main story, or instead of taking over fortresses, or that's what they're called, instead of outposts they're called fortresses now. So there'll be like mini pop-ups like this that you could do, so that way you don't get too bored just capturing a fortress. You could do mini stuff like this, so that way you won't get that bored. Another cool feature that I found out from the interview with the person that had the person that played the game, he said that it's pretty cool that you can actually, if you don't get too far in the game, but if you, I believe this is an option that you can put on, but basically what it was is that if you take over a fortress, Pagan Min can actually send troops to go back at that fortress and go take back the fortress. So that way, if you take over a fortress, it's not over yet. You could leave there for like an hour or so, and then Pagan Min can send troops there to go take it back. So that way you won't get bored, and that way it'll be much more of a challenge to keep all the outposts and stuff. Right here, as you guys can see, driving and shooting, that's a new feature as well. And then right over here, you guys are going to see the driving takedown, which looks pretty badass. Punch the guy in the face, knife the guy who's driving it, and take over the truck. So really, really cool. Really, really fun. I can't wait to try that out. New features. I'm glad they added this new feature as well, and like a bunch of old features from Far Cry 3, because I'm a huge fan of Far Cry 3 and a huge fan of this. I already pre-ordered this. If you guys do know, if you did pre-order it before the 18th, I believe, or the 11th of July, I believe, or August, yeah, you would have gotten 3 exclusive bonus missions and the bonus harpoon gun. But that's I'll show you guys that at the end of the trailer. But as you guys can see, beautiful landscape right there. That kind of like, I believe it's a religious tower right there. But they did a great job with the religious background and all that other stuff. So like I said before, there's a bunch of like small like rice fields, I guess you could say, or like grasslands, just like people from Nepal would do. I would assume there's like mini lakes. See, now I'm assuming also by those lily pads right there, that could be an alligator in there, because in Far Cry 3, if there was lily pads, there would be most presumably crocodiles or alligators right there. So that's that. Now a new feature in Far Cry 4 than Far Cry 3 is that if you want, you can invite a friend to join your world, and you guys can take over fortresses together, which is fun. Which also leads to the conclusion of why you could have that option that Pagan Min can actually send troops to go take it back, so that way you don't get bored. So that way you play with your friend more often. So it's pretty cool. And this is what one of the fortresses looks like. This is how big they are. They have a huge wall around them. As you can see, the buzzer, which the guy is on, you can see from the two perspectives. You can actually shoot and at the same time shoot and fly the thing. Now the buzzer doesn't go that high. I believe you can only go a certain, like right now, I believe that's the max height you can go with this thing. Oops, sorry. I believe that's the most, that's the top height that you can go with that thing. But it is pretty fun. It's pretty cool seeing it from a different angle. As you guys are going to see, right here, elephants. You could actually ride elephants, which is a new feature in the game. So that way you can use them to attack people. You have a charging attack. Now there are a few other things I want to talk about real fast before the gameplay ends. Is that there's the guns, pretty awesome shotgun. They have all of the shotguns, LMGs, assault rifles, and that's all of your regular guns like pistols. But that's mostly it. Thanks for watching, and here's actually my favorite part of the whole thing. I'll see you guys later. I love this part.
Pre-order now for a free upgrade to the limited edition. Includes 3 extra story missions and a bonus Impaler harpoon gun. Pre-order now. Far Cry 4. Available November 18th, 2014.